Good afternoon. Been in the IT business for too long. It's a very common thing that whenever I come to the stage, I start to talk about IT and data, and some of you probably seen me before, when I talk about big data. I'm going to talk about big data today again. All right? So sorry to disappoint you, but I want to look at big data from the other angle. The other that I would like to share, humanizing data. People ask me, what do you mean by humanizing data? Data is data. How do you humanize it? Right? Today I'm going to share something that is very personal. I never talk about this in the public, so today is my very, very virgin time. Talk about something personal on data. Thank you. I really hope I will not disappoint you because I'm not very good in talking personal things. Okay? Something that I would like to start with. Data is a number. A lot of us know that. A number that tells a story. Right? A story that gives us some insight. An insight that helps us to do to have a better decision making. This is a very industrial way of talking about data. So this next is going to be something very personal to me, that I would like to see how data could potentially change our life. This is my grandmother, passed away 3 years ago. Last photo I took with her. Last photo, 3 days before she passed away. Sorry, a little bit emotional because I really never thought about this. This is something that I would like to relate how data really, help us in many, many ways. How I wish I know what was the condition of my grandmother. I never knew. I thought I know she was not so well. I know she wasn't so healthy. But as usual, whenever you go back home, you ask your parent or your grandparent, whenever I ask them, how are you? They will always say, fine, I'm very good, right? They never tell you that I'm pain here, I'm pain there, I can't really eat, I can't really sleep. I do not know a lot of things about my grandmother. The only thing that I know is she is getting older, she was getting older, and she was weaker and weaker, but I never know why. I never know how. I also do not know what to do about that. The only thing I could do then was go back and see her as much as I could, call her as much as I could, but I never have the updated so-called, I never have the latest information about her. Never. Even until the day that she died in the morning, I still do not know why she died. So this is what I would like to look at from the life perspective, human perspective of data. These are the 4 phases that we have to go through. The birth, getting old, getting sick, and eventually die. Death is just 1 day, or maybe 1 hour, or 1 second. What I would like to share here today is there any way that we can make this last moment of our life very, very, very relaxed, easy, and peaceful? Sounds impossible. I'm not talking about creating a God. I'm not a God. I'm just talking about, is there a way that we as a human use the intelligence given by the God to create a better life, to create a better environment, to create a better way of living using the technology that we created from the human called data? Is that possible? Absolutely possible. The world that we are living in today, like it or not, are filled with data. Today, if I tell you that today, we are going to cut off the internet data for 3.5 hours, a lot of people here in this room will die. Right? You do not know what to do. Same goes with me. I live with data every day, and I talk about data every day. But my question always is, how can really data relate to human beings? A lot of time when we talk about data, it's always from the business point of view. How can we help company to make more money? How can we help company to cut more costs? But we rarely touch about how can data really help us to live a better life. Some of the things that we have today, the smart home, the smart car, these are the technology that we talk about often. But what exactly is the benefit of this technology to us? For example, smart home. How I wish my parents' house was a smart home, that I can see my grandma all the time, that I know what food in the fridge that she should not take, what are the food in the fridge that she should eat, what are the drinks that she needs to take, what are the supplements that she has to take, what's the temperature of her body all the time. How was her heartbeat? All these things I never knew. How I wish I have a smart car that I can drive her to anywhere that I want to drive her without me driving her, because I'm here all the time. And I can use a smart car to drive her to my place and stay with me. So I can spend her last few years together with her. But I never did. The only thing that I can do is talk about data, talk about technology, but never really use it, in our human life. So this is where I see data is so that important today in connecting humanity and technology. It is not about the technologies that matter, it's the humanity. The reason why we have this technology is to make our life a better life. I came here a few times, I talk about this very often, and most of the time when I talk about data and big data, most people cannot resonate. What is data got to do with me? I got nothing to do with data, data got nothing to do with me. Why talk about data? It will not impact my life, it will not change my life. I'm just one of the contributors of data. And today, I would like you to challenge your mind and change your perception. Data is something that you are living with. Data will be something that you can use for the benefit of the future. We also talk about this improvement factor. How can us improve our current environment? Are you happy living in today's world? The air is very clear, very pure. The water, the quality of water, is it very good? Maybe good, maybe no, we do not know. But if we have information about the environment that we are living in, that's a way that we can change where we live, how we live, and how we want to live. Happier, less stress, and maybe less sick. How about the food? There's so much of information, there's so much of data, there's so many people telling us what are you supposed to eat, what are you not supposed to eat. But do you know exactly what are you supposed to eat? Some people told me virgin coconut oil is very good for your skin and also for your memory. I just took it blindly and I took. But I do not know whether my body condition can do that. Is there any way that we can use technology and turn the information about the food that we are going to take and how would that impact our body as a benefit to the human being? Is that possible? Definitely possible. Because different human beings, we are built differently, we are developed differently. Right? Our body can take certain things and our body cannot take certain things. If these are the information that we can actually share, and if these are the information that you and me can know in advance, then we can have a better life with a lot more healthier lifestyle. Next, like it or not, today you are in digital life. I talk about this very often. We are today in a digital lifestyle. Our lifestyle are digital. Not so much of me, all right? Probably all of you. One day without internet is impossible. One day without a handphone in your hand is impossible. No way that can happen. So how to turn the current situation, the current digital lifestyle into a real human lifestyle? I talk about digital lifestyle, but digital lifestyle is just the terms. How can we use this technology to better our life? Do not use social media alone to communicate with your friends. It is a very good way of communicating, I agree. But can you use the information that you gather to make sure that you are closer? How many of you talk to your parent through Facebook, WhatsApp, WeChat? How often you call your parent, actually really pick up a call on your handphone or whatever you want to call this, really dial the number, not really dial the number, just press the number and call and talk. Not many, right? Me too, I'm at fault. I do not really call my parents because they always post their life in a Facebook and Twitter or whatever it is, so I always know what were they doing, but we do not really know, is that what they were doing? Are they happy? I do not know. I think they are happy because they always laugh in the photo. All right? So these are the technologies, it's very good, but I guess we really need to know how to utilize, how to use the data, all this digital data that we have today, right, to really go back to basic, the humanity. Next, health. Like what I said earlier, I never knew how bad was my grandma's condition. Even 3 days before I saw her, she couldn't really talk then. Right? I thought she was tired. I thought she was hungry, so I did a lot of funny things, you know, fed her with the food, you know, try to bring her out for dinner or whatsoever. I did a lot of things, but I never know her condition. I'm just so wishful now that today, if I could have some information about her health condition, that would be a lot of different. Today, the only thing that I can talk about is this. I wish I could do, because I was still thinking about technology and human are two different things. But the perspective that I would like to bring to you today is data or technology is always about humanity. You have to go back to the basic. We have to go back to the basic. We cannot define or we cannot change, you know, how this world is being created. None of us can. But this is what I believe we can. As far as we are concerned, as long as we share and as long as we put humanity first instead of technology first, we can always use this technology of intelligence to make this a better world. The technology that we created today is not to make our life further, it's not to make our life more distant, but to make our life a lot closer. But seems like most of us, a lot of us, we tend not to look at it. We just want to look at it from the technology perspective and point of view. So this is something that I really want to bring home. Do not distance yourself from the technology because you cannot. What we need to find is a humanity within the technology that we can create. All right? My grandmother did not die because of sickness, actually. She died because of old age. This is a part that I regret a lot because I never have the opportunity to really walk her through her journey. I really wish whatever that we are sharing here today, whatever that I'm talking about today, is just not another data technology, it's just not another technology or topic that I want to talk to you, but I want to go back to the basic. It's how do we use data in a human way? How do we use data to make us closer? How do we use data to make our life better? And how do we use data to make this world a better world? With that, I thank you.